Hi, I'm Candace with Marcum's Nursery. This year we're participating as a tulip test garden site with Journey North. It's a fun-free way that gardeners all over the United States monitor seasonal change and watch for the arrival of spring. For this project, they specifically monitor the blooming of the red emperor tulip bulb. Before we get started, let's talk about when these bulbs need to be planted. Ideally in our area, these would be planted late October or early November, whenever soil temperatures are at or about 60 degrees. This is going to ensure that the bulbs have proper chilling time throughout the fall and the winter for those beautiful spring bud and arrivals. The second thing we look for is picking a proper planting site. You want to make sure that where you're planting your bulbs, you'll have proper spacing. These bulbs ideally would need 3 to 4 inches between each bulb to make sure they have proper space for growth. Drainage is also really important. Making sure the area drains properly will make sure your bulbs don't get root rot or other funguses. If you have problems with drainage, adding compost to that area would definitely help improve. Make sure in your area that you've got it weed-free and clear of any other annuals that you might have planted earlier that year. Now that we've got our site ready and prepped for bulb planting, I'm going to get my red emperor tulip bulbs. We have these available at all Marcum's Nursery locations if you decide that you'd also like to participate in the Journey North Test Tulip Garden site. I usually will lay my tulips out to make sure that I'm ensuring proper spacing. Again, just making sure that I'm going to have them at least a few to 3 to 4 inches apart, 2 to 3, no more than that. On your bulbs, you want to make sure that you're going to be planting them face up. So on this bulb, this is the top and this is the bottom. This part right here you want facing toward the ground. That's going to be your root system. This top right here is where your beautiful bloom is going to emerge from. Once you've got them laid out exactly the way that you'd like, you can use a bulb auger. I'm using a hand trowel that has marked on the inches. That way I know that I'm planting them deep enough. A good rule of thumb on how deep to plant your bulbs is to plant them 3 times deeper than the bulb is tall. In this case, I would say this bulb is just about 2 inches tall, so planting it at least 6 inches deep would be necessary. You can always look on your packaging of your bulbs and follow the instructions. If you don't have bulb packaging, then follow that good rule of thumb to plant 3 times deeper than the height of the bulb that you're planting. Once you've got your bulbs ready to go, I'm going to use our trowel here. On my trowel, again, it's marked with how many inches in depth that I'm using, so I can ensure that I'm getting it at least 6 inches deep for this bulb that I'm planting. We're going to take our bulb and ensure that it's facing face up, roots down. I'm also going to be using a bulb fertilizer. I'm using bone and blood meal. You can use this and broadcast it in your whole area or just fertilize each individual bulb. These bulbs, it's recommended to use 2 tablespoons of bone and blood meal. So I'm going to get in here, mix that in with my existing soil, and cover that up. You can also use bone and blood meal to fertilize in early spring just as your bulbs are emerging to make sure that you have fertilization once you're getting those beautiful blooms. Once your bulb is planted, you can cover back up with mulch. This will ensure weed suppression and also proper moisture control. Now that we've got our bulbs planted, we are going to go on to our Journey North website and document our planting date. From there, you'll be able to see your test garden on their garden map, and so you can watch other gardeners participate as well. After that, there will be 2 more dates to document: your emerge date and also your bloom date. Now it's just time to sit back and relax, wait for spring, and enjoy those spring blooms. Thanks for watching.